Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Ayutthaya, and I'm right here on U-Thong Road. This is a road that kind of circles around the island. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a partially restored temple. It was restored under the reign of King Rama IV. This was an important temple back in the day. I'll tell you a little bit about the story of the Burmese here as we look at it. But he was restoring it and he died in the middle of restoration, and the orders were to permanently stop any work on it. So it's sitting here in its state, and we're going to walk and take a look here. It's Wat Khun Saen, and it was probably built somewhere probably like in the 1580s or so, but they're not exactly sure. So we'll see here and take a look and enjoy it. Now right down there you can see the arch. That's an important market, and then they just have small little 1- and 2-story houses all along here. You have some kind of Chinese Thai building, and then on the other side of this building is the Lopburi River. There's 3 rivers that circle around the former capital of Ayutthaya: the Pasak, the Lopburi, and the Chao Phraya. And it looks like we have some kind of restaurant over there. So the site is here. It's small, there's not a whole lot to it, but it's kind of interesting in that you can see how the temple was occupied and expanded over time. And there's a lot of nice shade trees. These Bodhi trees are all through the temple grounds. You can see there was a large number of chedis on site. This one here, you can see the plaster's all collapsed down. That Bodhi tree has completely taken it over. And then there was a small chedi right here, another one over there, and several others all through. And that's kind of the remains of the crystal wall that separated the temple grounds from the earthly realm outside. And then this hall here was quite large. You can see the little bases of the columns, the base of the wall, and has a couple of the chedi, or the sandstone Buddhas up there, and then just the base of it. Now what's cool is, just to give you an idea how little room there is to work with here on the island, this is U-Thong Road right here, and the road actually has to kind of skirt around this chedi. This is one that's built out on the outer part of the temple, and it's in pretty bad shape. The top's kind of missing, and then they have the Thai houses all through here. And people just live right next to the old temple. Yeah, we'll walk up here. So the story of this temple is they think it was built in honor of 2 Burmese noblemen that were ordered to attack and ambush the Thai king, or later Thai king, King Naresuan. Naresuan had his troops, and with the Burmese, they had captured Ayutthaya in the White Elephant War, and Thailand was kind of a vassal state. So he had his army, and he was actually allied with the Burmese, and they were out on campaign, but the Burmese knew that King Naresuan was really intelligent and a good fighter, and so they wanted him to be captured and executed. So the Burmese king ordered the 2 noblemen to circle around behind and to ambush and kill King Naresuan. And they alerted him to the plan instead of surrounding him and killing him. So the reward was the current Siamese king, because Naresuan was just a prince. He gave land to those Burmese and their family in this area. And then there was also some families that were allowed to settle over by Wat Mahatat, right near the Wat Nok area. You see the outer wall here, those sandstone Buddhas. And then what's cool, we'll look at the chedi. You can see how big it is. It's kind of deformed a little bit, and there's a reason why. You can see the plaster work all across the bottom here. And another chedi, and another little bit of the perimeter wall here. Yeah, King Naresuan, when the White Elephant War happened, he was sent along with other royals to Burma. They demanded, tribute, and they also demanded hostages, and he was one of them. It was the practice back in the day. So he grew up in modern-day Myanmar, and that's where he learned to be a soldier. And he was known as King Naresuan the Great. He's one of the really important kings of Thailand. So check this out. So this is how you can see what happened is this was a smaller chedi. You can see the small bell right there. And then you can see how they were enlarging it. So they were making a humongous bell on the outside of it. And they just stopped right there whenever King Rama IV died. And they would have enlarged everything up on the top. But it's just sitting here just like this now in kind of a half-finished shape. And it's on a humongous square pedestal. But how amazing is that? It looks like a giant came and just took a bite out of the chedi. And now you can see all the trees that grow up there and the tree way up at the top of the spire. It always amazes me how those trees can just catch a little bit of a crack and it gets enough rain and they start growing, and they actually destroy the chedis and all of that because they enlarge the crack and cause more water to get in there. And then the roots dislodge bricks, and eventually the whole structure will look just like that one we saw where the Bodhi tree is engulfed it. And you can see how it's unstable here, that crack, because there's nothing to hold those bricks from sloughing off. And then they have a little bit, this would have been one of the gates. They have this wooden bridge that goes nowhere. You just go right around it, but whatever. That wooden bridge is in terrible condition. It looks like some people have cut some of these tree branches back and just left them here. And you can see all the houses and everything back here. Now it's illegal for people to build anything on these old sites, but there are a few temples where squatters have moved in and are living amongst the ruins. These people here, they're just living right up to the edge of the old wall. Right, check out how the Bodhi tree has just merged with that wall. And you can see how the roots come out and they move those bricks around. And you can see how some of the bricks are dislodged here. So this is going to cause this whole corner to eventually slough off and collapse. And those other tree roots up there will do the same unless they come in and trim them back. And they built a ramp over here so they can take their motorcycles over the wall. And we have a shrine here. Let's take a look at the shrine. And they have this kind of built here. I like this. My husband and I are doing a workshop. He works and I shop. They have crocodiles, no swimming here. Kind of an interesting place. Got Harley Davidson. So he must be into the motorcycles. Yeah, the 9 Harley Davidson. I'd like to see what his motorcycles are. I'm kind of a Harley guy from way back. I've logged a few million miles on them. Yeah, so they have a little shrine here. Some of the Buddhas that they've brought in, and little elephants and stuff like that. You can see a few more of the houses and stuff. Yeah, there's not a whole lot more to this temple, just Bodhi trees kind of taken over now. And it's right here in the middle, or on the north side of the island, but it still feels different. You get over here and these Bodhi trees kind of give it some shade and kind of keep it quiet, even though the road is busy over there. Yeah, you can see how this tree is. It's just absolutely massive. And you can see the top of the spire over there. And then this over here is that hall we looked at. And then the base of some of these chedis. And it's kind of cool. You can see how they constructed them. Kind of how they did like an X, and then they made it round from there. Really creative with the brickwork. So that's the whole site. It's not very big, but it's got a little bit of interesting history with King Naresuan and the Mon and all of that. Well, that'll finish up our video over here at this Wat Khun Saen, this partially restored temple. This is pretty cool. I've been over here before. I like it. It's always amazing to me how skilled the brickwork is, or the people that do all the brickwork. I mean, they took a structure and they were enlarging it, so they got to figure out all the dimensions of the original structure plus plan for the new one. And I would really wish they would have came back in here and finished it even after the death of King Rama IV. There's 2 other temples in Ayutthaya that he did restore that are still active. And then there's a couple others that were later abandoned also that went back into the condition of this. And it's part of the region's history. I really like coming over here and walking around. These are places that nobody goes to but me, and I like kind of off the beaten path. This temple here is just ignored by everybody. They just drive by it on the road. They park out here next to it, but they don't think anything about it. The temples and stuff like that are the ones that were made out of brick, so that's kind of the history kind of goes through them. All the houses were made out of wood, and they all burned whenever the Burmese sacked the city. So all of that is gone, so all that you get to see is the temples, and then you can read about, you know, which king did this or whatever, and that kind of is interesting to me. So hopefully you found this a little bit interesting. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and you get to see more videos that I do. And if you know more about this temple, let me know. If you know more about those Burmese nobles, tell me also. I'll put the best description I can in the video, and you can read a little bit more about it. And until next time, from over here in Ayutthaya, remember, life is a journey. So until next time, enjoy.